Hello everyone, Hisham here and welcome back to this video. Have you ever heard someone say money doesn't buy happiness? Well, they're wrong, because money can buy a lot of happiness. In fact, it's one of the best ways to buy it. But here is the catch. You need to make it, and you need to make it in such a way that you're not selling your soul or slaving away like some corporate drone in a soul-sucking cubicle farm. And I know that can be tough for a lot of you. That's why I'm here to tell you how I started to make 10K a month doing something that you might not expect. So let's get into it. Number 1, learning a high-income skill. So picture this, you're stuck in a dead-end job, your talents, your passion squandered, feeling like a cog in the corporate machine. You know there's more to life than just slaving away from paycheck to paycheck that barely covers your avocado toast addiction, and yet you can't seem to figure out how to escape this rat race. Well, maybe that is because you've been looking at it the wrong way all along. Because if you're like most people, chances are you've been asking the wrong question. See, most people ask themselves, how can I make more money? However, when we focus solely on making more money, we tend to become egocentric creatures driven by self-interest and personal gain. It becomes this never-ending rat race for accumulation where the value of money overshadows everything else. And while money is undoubtedly extremely important for our basic needs and desires, it shouldn't be the sole driving force behind our actions. And so instead, I want you to reframe this question and ask, what difficult problem can I solve? Because shifting our focus from money to problem solving opens up a new world of possibilities. It takes us beyond our own desires and compels us to look outward to see the needs and challenges around us. And so by asking this question, we become agents of change, seeking to make a positive impact on the world. You become a problem solver who's using his skills and abilities to address the pressing issues that affect not only individuals, but also communities and sometimes even society at large. And in the process of, solving difficult problems, we find opportunities for growth, fulfillment, and yes, inevitably also the financial success. And this brings us to why you need to learn a high-income skill ASAP. Learning and developing a high-income skill is kind of like finding the holy grail, but with a lot more practical benefits. But how do you find and cultivate such a skill? Well, my friend, it's all about having the right focus. Ask yourself this: what are your passions? Or maybe even better than just thinking about your passions, what are you actually good at? What do you have the world to offer? And don't tell me you're not good at anything, because everybody is good at something. Like everybody has that thing that they always had a knack for. So once you've identified this question, it's time to turn it into a marketable skill. And here's where you take the time to really immerse yourself in it. Kind of like have to devour every book, every course that you can get your hands on. You have to watch every YouTube video you can find. Like, you gotta become a sponge of knowledge, soaking up all wisdom like a tipsy party goer down shots of tequila. And the more you learn, the more you'll start to stand out in a sea of mediocrity. Now, here comes the philosophical twist. Developing a high-income skill is not just about making more money, it's about self-actualization. As the great psychologist Abraham Maslow proposed, we all have a hierarchy of needs. And at the top of that pyramid is self-fulfillment. It's kind of like the pinnacle of human existence. And what better way to fulfill yourself than by doing something you love and getting paid handsomely for it? That's exactly what I did. Because a couple of years ago, I decided to pursue a career as a freelance company coach, where I basically found myself navigating the treacherous waters of organizational dysfunction. And so with my quick wit and, uncanny ability to spot the root causes of workplace chaos, I was actually able to monetize my skill set pretty fast. It was kind of like playing Sherlock Holmes, but except instead of solving crimes, I was untangling the mess of office politics and just teaching executives how to high five without looking awkward. Now, some of you may be asking, how did I get here and why did I choose this specific career path? Which brings me to the second part of this video, finding the right niche. See, finding the right niche is kind of like searching for a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is a chaotic mess of internet trends and the needle is your unique skill set. But fear not, my friend, for I shall guide you through this labyrinth of niche selection with a dash of statistical depth and maybe a little bit of humor. So what is a niche, you ask? Well, imagine the vast expanse of the internet as a bustling marketplace, and your niche is that little stall tucked away in the cozy corner, selling something that stands out from the crowd. It's a specific topic or area of interest that sets you apart and makes you the expert in that particular field. Now, let's get down to business. According to a study conducted by Neil Patel, a renowned digital marketing expert, businesses that focus on a specific niche are 74% more likely to be successful. That's right. By narrowing down your focus and becoming a specialist in your chosen niche, you increase your chances of standing out and attracting an audience extensively. And I saw this very early on in my specific niche when I started my freelance business as a company coach. I noticed how the trend of, conducting business and working and dealing with employees was shifting and changing quite drastically, to an extent that a lot of companies, especially government offices, had no clue how to deal with this shift. And that is how I saw this huge potential to bridge the gap between a need in the market and my own personal skill set. But how do you find that golden niche? Well, it starts with self-reflection. It's like I said before, you have to take a moment to ponder your passions, your interests, and your expertise. What makes your heart sing? What topics make you jump out of bed in the morning, ready to conquer the world? And once you've identified that sweet spot where your interests and expertise intersect, that's when you found your niche. Now here comes the fun part, choosing a niche that is specific yet broad enough to have a significant audience. So let's take a humorous example here. Imagine you have a passion for pet grooming, but not just any pets. Oh no. Your expertise lies in grooming poodles with an extravagant hairstyle that makes them envy of the canine world. You found your niche within the pet grooming industry, and you're ready to unleash your creativity and expertise upon those fluffy poodles. That's more or less how specific you want to get. You get it? But why is this important, you ask? Well, let me throw you some statistical wizardry at you. According to a survey by HubSpot, businesses that target a specific niche have a 208% higher conversion rate compared to those that don't. That's right. So by catering to a specific audience, you can just better tailor your content and offerings to their needs, resulting in higher engagement and conversion rates. It's not rocket science. It's actually quite basic. Now, the third way I made 10K a month is by staying consistent for an extended period of time. And I know it sounds boring, I know it sounds trite, but it's the truth. But what makes consistency so powerful? Well, let's dive into some relevant references to shed light on this phenomenon. According to a study conducted by the Content Marketing Institute, businesses that consistently produce content, for example, are much more likely to achieve their marketing goals. It's kind of like a magical formula that just captivates your audience, keeps them engaged, and ultimately leads to higher conversion and revenue. Now, that doesn't mean that quality doesn't matter. It just means that quantity is also an extremely important factor when it comes to personal success. So by consistently delivering value and improving your skill set, you showcase your commitment, your dedication, and eventually also your expertise. You become a reliable source of information and inspiration, building trust with your audience and just solidifying your position as a thought leader in your niche. And people will eventually know where to find you. And so consistency really kind of like became the cornerstone of my workflow process. I was really focusing on improving my day-to-day life by just 1% each day. And when I did that, something remarkably unfolded. I started to notice that my phone started to ring just way more often than I was used to, as I was getting these calls from people who wanted to work with me. And I felt like I was gathering momentum, and I think it's because people were just drawn to my consistent presence and effort, eagerly waiting to partner up on the next project. And so as your audience or customer base expands, so will your income. Companies will take notice of your consistency, and they recognize the importance of partnering with someone who consistently delivers exceptional value. And that's how you can create collaborations, sponsorship opportunities, you name it. So in conclusion, my friend, out of everything I told you today, let consistency be your faithful companion on this exhilarating journey to reaching the coveted milestone of making 10K a month. Because honestly, it's really not that difficult once you understand the basic fundamentals. Remember, success is not an overnight affair, but rather a result of persistent effort and unwavering dedication. Now, as we have come close to this epic tale, it is time for a call to action. So if you enjoyed this video, I invite you to hit that like and subscribe button. Join our community of like-minded individuals and unleash your full potential. Together, we'll conquer the challenges, celebrate the victories, and create a life of financial abundance and fulfillment. And in the meantime, I need you to stay savage.